All right, I believe we are live. Let me just get sectioned here. All right, guys. Whoops. What is happening today? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Brand Marks the Spot, a show where we talk about all things branding and design and how we can use those things to help you grow your business, create more trust, authority, and impact with your audience, and just have fun while you're doing it. So, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how your core values can influence how your brand is perceived. And I'm looking down here just to make sure that I'm coming through. Yep. Sounds good. All right. So let me just turn this down. Gotta love the live video, right? So if you're joining me here right now, drop a comment, say, hey, what's up? Where are you from? Or if you're catching the replay, just give me a hashtag replay if you don't mind. It helps me see when people are watching. And of course, if you have any questions about this topic or any other topic related to your business and your brand, by all means, do not hesitate to hit me up there. All right. So before we get started, this episode is brought to you by the Create a Lead Magnet That Doesn't Suck Canva template pack. It is designed for online entrepreneurs to create beautiful looking and professional looking lead magnets and workbooks and booklets that will match their brand through this drag and drop customizable, 100% customizable Canva template. You can grab that at patricksesko.com/lead magnet. And along with that, you will be getting some bonuses like some Facebook ad templates, Facebook header templates, and mock-up templates. So when you go to promote your own lead magnets, you'll have these little mock-ups to kind of give it the tangible feel, because these are all digital products, so you want to make them look like they're like real things, right? Not to confuse anybody, but it's a design thing, kind of like what you see here in this on the screen right now. If you're watching the video, you'll see little covers of booklets. That's all part of the Lead Magnet That Doesn't Suck template pack. Again, grab that at patricksesko.com/lead magnet. If you have any questions regarding that, please hit me up. All right, so that's what we got going right now. And like I said, in this episode, we are going to be talking about how your core values can influence or how your brand is perceived by others, right? So before we even talk about that, I think it's important to even know what core values are. When I work with a branding client, everybody typically wants to go straight to the designing the logo and picking the colors and the fonts and designing their web pages and brochure and all that stuff. And that is the super fun, sexy stuff. That's the stuff that everybody sees. And that's the stuff that everybody oftentimes confuses what your brand is. Now, that visual part is definitely part of the brand, but that comes actually pretty late in the branding process. And before you even do any of that stuff, you need to work on brand strategy. And this is sort of the research and discovery phase and the hard work that you have to do. Some of it may be introspection. Some of it's going to be research. Some of it's going to be audience research. Some of it's going to be, researching your competitors and where you're positioned in relation to them and all of those things, right? And one of those things that you need to do is, to determine what your brand values are. And brand values are essentially just sort of, what do you stand for as a business, right? What are the things that are important to you? And these don't have to be crazy, a crazy list. Most online entrepreneurs, have just a handful, 5, 7, up to maybe 10 or 12. And they can be some things certainly as simple as, like one of mine is just integrity, like just being open and honest and transparent and having integrity about how you do your business, how you treat people. The golden rule, that's one of my favorites, is to, treat people how you'd like to be treated and just have respect, with a mutual respect for people. Another one is to have fun in your business, because, if you're not having fun in your business, like, why do you want to do the slog of working every day and just doing something that makes you miserable? Not all aspects of business are going to be super fun. Like, I don't enjoy doing my taxes every year, but it's a sort of a necessary evil, if you will. Others do, but my point is, do the things that you love to do, and have fun in your business. So that could be one of your values. And some people, like I said, this is part of the brand strategy. So these are the things that kind of inform the messages that we give out to our audience. This will inform the content that we make. This will even inform the visuals that we create. And when you have these sort of core values established, what it's going to do, it's going to kind of set you apart from others in that you are going to attract people that have similar values. So, it's kind of like making friends, right? You're going to make friends who have similar interests or have similar hobbies, or, if you're a church going person, you might, have that religion side of things in common. So those are the things that will allow you to connect with people who share the same values. And that's, again, part of branding. And some people say, oh, well, that's kind of, you're kind of tricking people into that. And it's like, no, I'm not, because, your values are really your values, right? You don't want to appropriate somebody else's values because maybe you emulate, or you look up to them or something, or you love their business, and their values are something that isn't congruent with your own values, but yet you appropriate those values, and then you try to put it out as, that's not authentic, and people will see through that. So it's not really, I'm not trying to pull the wool over people's eyes or trick them into wanting to do business with me. I want to put myself out there as authentic as possible. And by sharing my core values, and I'm not saying like, hey, everybody, these are my core values, but like, you see me, I have fun. I play my guitar sometimes, and I do crazy, wacky posts or whatever. I align myself with other entrepreneurs who have similar, values and outlooks on business and life, because and I value that life is just too short to be just constantly just bombarded and slogged down with work that you hate. And I'm all for making the sacrifice of working and providing for your family, but it should also be something that you like to do, right? So anyways, it allows you to connect with those people. So if you think of some of these big brands who their brand values are kind of evident, people who have like sort of religious or biblical values like Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A, they are not shy about putting those things forth, right? And that's going to that's taking a stand, so to speak, not like screaming and yelling at people who don't agree with those values, but it's kind of putting their stake in the ground, saying, this is what we stand for. If you like it, come on and do business with us, eat at our restaurant, buy from our store, right? So, and that will cause people to like, well, I don't agree with that, so I'm not going to shop there. So, your core values will also repel the people that you don't want to work with. So you want to also think about that as well. You think about the My Pillow guy, and the political stands that these people are making. And, some people say, oh, well, that's a mistake. And it's, I'm not going to pick one side or the other in that regard. But my point is that it's going to repel people as well as attract people. So, it's his business. He does what he pleases with it. And then you have other types of values like inclusivity, the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, things like that, where people have really brought that to the forefront of their business. And some even will go out and say, it's like, if you don't believe that Black Lives Matter, then we don't want to do business with you, so very straightforward and taking a really strong stand. So wherever your values are, those things should be evident in your business, whether it could be just a list on your page. It could be imbued into your content that you put out or your videos that you put out, and it can even affect your visuals. And it also informs the messaging, like I say, and the content that you put out. And what that does is people will be influenced by that. They will get an idea of, okay, well, this is where this guy or gal is coming from. This is what he or she believes in. And I'm either going to agree with that and love it and just kind of like consume everything that they do, or I'm going to be like, you know what, I'm not for that. So I'm not going to work with that person. I'm not going to do business with them. So that's how it works. And I'm going to share one example here is Harley Davidson. I'm actually working on a branding course, and this is one of the examples I'm using. But in Harley Davidson, their sort of values are, fun and freedom, determination, power, mystery, rebellious. And you'll notice that those values have informed their branding, right? So you have their logo, which has got a bright, bold color combination there with bold, sort of manly, burly fonts, and you have their logo. It almost looks like a patch that you could even like sew onto your leather jacket, which is probably no surprise why so many motorcycle clubs kind of gravitate towards the Harley Davidson brand. You see their colors are black and orange, where orange kind of represents, fun and freedom, stimulation and determination, whereas the black, in contrast, kind of stands for the mystery, the power, elegance, even, and the rebellious attitude. So that is how sort of your brand values can really inform and influence your branding, which can then in turn influence your audience, right? So keep that in mind when you're doing that kind of work, right? And that's pretty much it. So like that is exactly how your core values can and should and will affect how your brand is perceived. And if you do nothing, if you just show up however you're going to show up, if you do nothing about that or you don't do that work, then people are going to create their own perception regardless of what you do. So the whole point of branding is to kind of have that influence, not in a nefarious kind of way, but it's just like, hey, I don't want people to think I believe in this. So this is what I believe in. This is who I am, right? So put those things out there, because I think it's important to understand what your values are. Do that pre-work, do that strategy work, right? Find out who your competitors are. What are their values? How do your values differ? Do you share the same values? Does that open up an opportunity for you guys to do a collaboration maybe? So, values can lead to a lot of different things in your business and in your branding. So definitely give that strategy stuff some thought. If you want to learn more about, the before the building of the sexy design part of your brand and the strategy, just hit me up in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions. And I do also have, if you guys want to take a look at, I have a brand roadmap. I'm going to pop this on the screen. This basically lists all of the strategy stuff. It's a 4-phase roadmap framework that goes over all of the components of your branding, from the strategy work to the development of your identity, and then to the design of all the parts of your business, and then the delivery. So grab that at patricksesko.com/brand roadmap. And that is what I got for you guys today in this week's episode of Brand Marks the Spot. I love doing these shows. I appreciate, for those of you who are watching and listening, just appreciate any comments. Just drop in a hashtag replay if you're catching a replay. Say hi. And we'll see you next week on the same channel. All right, you guys have a good night. Later.